We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Steve and Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2092, and today we're talking about reviewing the properties that come back, the houses that come back from a mailer, and taking a look at them from an acquisition standpoint, and then actually purchasing the ones that fit your criteria.
So is it like we're going to talk due diligence for houses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically next year, though, the real estate market is changing very rapidly. There's a lot more property on the market. It's not selling the way that it used to. Mortgage rates are pretty horrifically high. And so you're going to get a lot of properties back that you would not typically have gotten back, let's say 2 years ago. And we'll talk about it. Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum and take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
Okay. Sylvia wrote, what is everyone's take on how much mail is being sent to landowners and how many mailers it takes to buy a good parcel? Even the other day, yesterday or the day before, I can't remember what it was. One other person said they're 1 or 2 in 10.
What do you mean?
Oh, not, though that was actually probably when he gets them. Now he's scrubbing down his 10 from the people that call back. So I'm going to say to buy a good parcel, I'm going to go, wait,
I don't think this is what she means.
How much mail is being sent? How many mailers does it take to buy a good parcel? How many offers do you need to send?
How much mail is being sent to landowners and how many mailers does it take to buy a good property? Right. What I read in this is
volume.
There's a lot of mail being sent out.
Right. And a lot of people are doing it wrong and a lot of people are gunking it up. But that's where you got to be really good and be on your game. Think I'm kidding?
It's a beautiful, happy little
No, but it's true. There's little things you can do, like answer the phone. No, people mess it up. If you answer the phone and you're pleasant and you're real and you're following through and doing everything, they're going to forget about those other people. Because you know what? This is not new to 2024, everyone. This has been going on. So
if you answer the phone at all, you are in the 80th or 90th percentile. Mm-hmm. If you answer the phone well, you're in the 95th to 98th percentile.
Mm-hmm. This is partially our fault. When I say our fault, I mean your fault.
Why? Why is that? What did I do?
Because
this is classic relationship.
Do you know why?
I'm sitting here happily answering questions.
Let me tell you why. Because 25 years ago, I know you were doing this and maybe one other person that didn't learn from you.
Yeah.
And had you both kept your mouths quiet, you would still be the only two doing this. But it was a good idea to share this with the planet.
Turns out you're right.
Thank you. So, and it is a good thing that we shared with the planet. Because you know why? Well, and we talked about this. Even as we decided to get to the education space and sharing our secrets, if you will, how we built this business and everything to where we are, we talked about it are we shooting ourselves in the foot? Are we going to create too much competition?
You think we shot ourselves in the foot?
No,
Neither do I.
No.
We make more money now than we ever have.
It's totally fine. But we had to talk. We wouldn't have done this if we didn't believe that. All right, how many, and how do I know this? Well, every now and then we have the same conversation at least once a year. And I actually talked to someone about this yesterday. I did a one-on-one coaching with a woman yesterday in a very affluent part of Texas. And I said, you do know, with your experience, and what you're doing right now, you could hang your hat for the rest of your career in this county alone. You could never need to go outside this county because she's doing all kinds of property. It ties into today. She's doing land, houses, both. So, and hopefully mobiles too. And we talked about all of them. And so that's it. But back to the question. For me, a couple thousand. I don't need that much. Actually, I could do it a couple hundred, but go ahead.
Let's just facts. I'm going to answer this question with facts because it's on everybody's mind. Mm-hmm. This is why I chose this question.
Right.
There's a bunch of mail being sent out. How many mailers does it take to get a good property?
How many licks does it take to get to the center
licks
of a Tootsie Roll pop? of a Tootsie Pop.
Relationship status, licks.
Licks. How many licks does it take? That's awful. Go ahead.
You could take that.
Sorry.
So many ways.
I am sure the children in the back seat right now did not get that.
And let's just face facts here. There's a lot of mail being sent out, more than there ever has been, to buy land all over the country. The amount of mail that is required to get a good property has increased. These are all facts. Anybody who's listening to this is not new news. The real question is how to change your business, how you're responding and dealing with your business to address these issues. It's a level playing field. Everybody's dealing with it. Like Jill and I are right involved in that. What do you do? How much does it take? I sent out properties when I started this. I sent out offers for $500. I would buy 10 properties a week, 10 or 15 or 20 properties a week.
Yeah.
We couldn't process it fast enough. We had to just paperwork processing. I had deed signing day, and it was, 2 inches thick of deeds. Were those the good old days? No. They weren't. They presented a whole other challenge and there are a bunch of other stuff. The truth is, these are the good old days for us, and they will be
so much easier
because it's easier. And when there's 2 of us, not just one.
Yeah.
Does it take more mail to get have a meaningful conversation? No. What it takes is answering the phone differently.
There you go.
So everybody's obsessed with this. They're obsessed with: is it too crowded? Is it over? Did I miss it? Did I miss the party?
You know what, Sylvia?
Absolutely not.
There's always going to be challenges.
Yes.
That's the whole thing too. The challenges that we had 10 years ago are different than the challenges 5 years ago. And this is a challenge today. And guess what? 5 and 10 years from now, we're going to have different challenges. So what? You power through. I got to send more mail. Fine. I got to come up with something else. Fine.
I have to enlist a cold calling service. Maybe there's all kinds of stuff.
I do follow up. I had to replace the staff person with somebody that could answer the phone or would answer the phone. I don't know.
There's something about this business, and we'll get onto the topic in a second here because we're going to run out of time, I can tell. There's something about buying and selling real estate that people believe, the world believes, that you do not need to have any patience or education, or it's just easy. I think it's what the National Association of Realtors have led us all to believe, that you're going to get your real estate license. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to really even have graduated from the 10th grade. You need to look good, know some people, and be slick and talk okay. And then you can do it part-time. You only have to work a couple hours a day, a couple hours a week. You're going to do a couple of deals and make $100,000 a year. And that's just not how this is.
True.
So the underlying question here is, how much of a pain in the ass is it for me? How hard do I have to work? Because I don't really want to work that hard. How hard is this? I don't want to work that hard. I just want to send out. I want you to tell me how many mailers I have to send out. Maybe I'll answer the phone that day. Maybe I won't. And I expect to make some money. And that is my take on what's happening in this world.
That was heavy.
I didn't ask the question.
Okay.
I just answered. Again, if you're offended by this, this is not the show for
Jack's relationship status is reviewing and assessing my take on the world.
Relationship status, in a timeout.
That's good. Yeah, it's true. There we go. Perfect. All right, today's topic, it's Thursday, so day 4 in our 5-day series here on how to flip a house without renovations, going to 2025. And today we're talking about, Jack's going to share us how to review and price the houses, your house mailer, for acquisition and purchase the ones that fit your criteria.
Property comes back, or the person calls, Jill's answered the phone. Yeah, I do accept your offer. I'm happy to sell it. I had a life's change. And yes, what's the next step? Well, thanks, Mrs. Smith. We're going to take your address. We're going to schedule a time for our people, our boots on the ground, but we don't call it that, to the seller, both to meet with you. And then we're going to have an inspector walk through the house and just make sure that everything's okay, that, the water heater works and okay, does that sound good? Yes. There's one of two things that happens at that point in general. It all checks out. The inspection goes well, the seller doesn't change their mind, and you buy the property. You buy it and you make sure that the offer that you sent out in the mailer that they signed off on still works. Mm-hmm. There's a chance you mispriced it. There's a chance the asset's a little bit more messy than you thought. But in general, for us, that doesn't happen. What could happen And this is why you need to have a pipeline full of deals. This is the whole point to this topic, is that they might change their mind. Their sister-in-law is just became a licensed real estate agent and talks them out of it. There's a lot of stuff. And that's where Jill comes in, where she has a relationship with them and says, well, that's great. You changed your mind. You won't get paid now until for 6 months in this market instead of on Friday, like you will with us.
Well, I have another secret weapon. I was thinking about this because I was writing something because we're actually interviewing for boots on the ground people to help us with this in other areas right now. And one of the things I was kind of writing out the steps of the process, and what you really want to do is get a signed purchase agreement back, open escrow, just like normal. So we locked it in.
Yeah.
Now we're doing the inspection, and now we're doing those things. And because you can just still adjust as you need, if you need to, in escrow, and you can still back out. A lot of people don't know that. You mean I can open escrow and change the price? Yeah, don't be that guy. You don't want to try to go into it doing that. But if you have to, there's some big circumstantial thing. Yes, you sure can. And number two, yeah, you can open escrow and change your mind. And it's okay.
When an inspection comes back and it says there's 82 things wrong with the house, everybody, seller, has to understand that things are going to change based on that.
Exactly. And that's just the way it is.
The point I want to deliver here is valuing these houses. So the mailer went out at a price where you know the actual retail value of the house. If it's $300,000 and you offered $250,000, that's going to check out most of the time. So, but to make triple sure, what we do and what you should absolutely do is when it comes back, you look at the price you offered, you look at all the comparative values right around the immediate vicinity. This is what makes buying houses so much easier statistically and data-wise than land. Make sure the houses, the adjacent houses and the houses on the block that are comparable, you're cheaper.
Yeah.
You're as much cheaper as you want to be.
Uh-huh. It's so much easier.
If you have 10 properties, if you send out 10,000 letters, about 100 people are going to respond. About 10 to 20% of those, maybe 10% of those people, let's say 10, are going to have a real serious interest in selling. Half of those, the deal's going to work. There's other things that start to happen. Maybe there's got a mortgage on it. You didn't know that. All kinds of stuff. So now you're looking at 5 properties and 5 sellers. You want to make sure that stuff works.
Yep. You
do not want to look at one property and try and make it work. You want to take those 5 and choose the best 1 or 2.
That was perfect. Thank you.
Tomorrow, we'll talk about representing the asset once you purchase it on the internet to sell it for more. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.